So you've built a lead magnet, but you're still not getting actual clients from it. There are people who are opting in, so you do have an email list. There's a lot of traction on the lead magnet, but there's no point of it if it's not turning people into your clients. So now you're wondering, why is that happening? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the main reason why your lead magnet is not converting to a paying client and what you can do to actually make that happen. I saw many of you were struggling with which lead magnet to pick, and you loved that video, which is why this is a continuation of it. Okay, so you've built a lead magnet. It could be a quiz, a PDF, a calculator, right? The thing is, you're trying to bridge something which is free and you're trying to bridge it to something which is for $3,000. And the minute after the lead magnet gets over, when you tell them, okay, work with me, and it's $3,000, they again go blank as to who are you. This is because they have no experience with you, they have not as much trust built with you, and they haven't seen your work in action. But this is something fixable, so don't worry. In sales, the first yes is the hardest to get because that is what is converting them from just a looker to an actual client or a buyer. It could be something even tiny, but now that mindset has shifted and you're looking to get help with whatever problem you are solving. If in the first yes, you're trying to get them to buy a $3,000 program, or you're trying to get them buy something which requires a lot of time investment, you are killing your own business because you are adding so much friction to the first yes itself, right? So the question is not whether you should be having something that bridges the lead magnet to your core program. The question is, what should you be having? So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the 4 main bridges which you could be using to actually turn them into paying clients. The first one is a Tripwire. It is basically something which is between $5 to $50, and the main purpose of it is just to convert them into buyers of something tiny. Now, Tripwires would be absolutely amazing if you are running ads, for the simple reason that's going to help you cover your ad cost. Now you might be wondering, what could actually be a Tripwire? Templates, mini courses, free trainings, something which is super tiny but still has a lot of value and is ideally solving a tiny portion of the big problem. That can be your Tripwire. So right after your quiz gets over, or whatever your freebie is, what you tell them is, this is what I'm offering to you, which is around $10, $12, and they're a lot more likely to buy it. Once they have paid that money, you can later upgrade them to your main offers. From what I have seen, Tripwires usually work best for programs which are under $1,000 unless you are running ads. If you're running ads, Tripwires are a must for you. That's going to actually help you cover your ad cost, so you're getting leads for free. Now here's the downside of a Tripwire, the technical setup. You're gonna have to make a checkout page. You're gonna have to set the whole email sequences up. 2, building the Tripwire takes a lot of time and a lot of energy on your part. For example, if it's a video training or anything like that, it's going to take investment on your part to even build that Tripwire. And the massive upside there is, let me repeat it to you, it's the ad cost which you're going to be reducing. So if you are running ads and you don't have a Tripwire, you're just losing money. So unless you're running ads, ideally I would suggest use a Tripwire for selling a program which is around $500 to $700. So you start with a lead magnet, take them to the Tripwire, which is around $27, $37, and then you can promote something which is for $400 or $600. Now the next one, mini courses, mini trainings. This is highly underrated as a bridge between your lead magnet and your actual program. Usually what people do is they have a lead magnet and then they just get people to book a call with them, but that could still have more friction. And not just friction, you might be getting on calls with people who are not actually that serious. The thing with a mini course is it is supposed to be targeted towards one problem which your audience might be facing. So ideally it would be a symptom of the problem and not the root problem, because that is what your core program is. And this could be around $47 to $100, maybe a little bit higher as well. And the main purpose of this is so that people can have an experience of what it is like to work with you. At the end of that training, you can pitch your actual program, which is for $1,500 or maybe $1,000, whatever it might be. You can do it at the end of that training. Now, this is contingent on a few factors. you are a good teacher and you are okay with doing something which is one to many, which is you are making one resource for many people. There are many coaches who do not like that and they want everything to be personalized. But if that's not you, then this would work for you. The upsides of it are that it's a lot more personalized than a few emails, and people get to see an experience of your work in action for a lot cheaper. There is no pressure while they are on that mini program, and in comparison, many times people do feel that pressure when they are on a call. The downsides are that it takes a lot of time to build. The setup requires a lot of technicality, setting it all up together, requires filming, editing, stuff like that. Then the completion rates may vary. If you're selling a program which is anywhere between $700 all the way up to $1,800, $1,900, then a mini course can. Now let's discuss this next bridge, which many of y'all are already using. Some of y'all might be seeing results, some of y'all might be messing a few things up. I will get into it. But this one is something people love, which is webinars. Webinar is basically around a 90-minute script where you prove your expertise, show your value, and then actually pitch your offer to get them to work with you. Webinars, if done right, work incredibly well. But the thing is, to get them right, you need to, one, be pushing traffic towards it. If you have 100 followers and you're trying to have a webinar through organic content, don't bother with it because it's not going to work for you. But if you have an engaging audience, you've got a lot more followers, you've got actual presence on social media platforms, or you are willing to spend money on ads, then you can consider running a webinar. The social media presence is only necessary if you do not wish to run ads. With ads, you can have more people register for your webinar, actually show up, so it can still work for you. Webinars are ideal for programs ranging anywhere between $1,000 to $3,500 unless you have a lot of pre-built trust with your audience. Now, if you have a brand presence, then you could go higher. So point number one, you need to be driving traffic towards it. Point number two, you need to have an actually good webinar. If your webinar is mediocre, which is you don't have an actual script, you don't have slides, you've not put in much effort into it, and you're just winging it, then again, don't bother, because even if you get a few sales, you're losing out on so much given what you could be making had you been following a proper structure or format, right? So the webinar script and the whole format is very important. And three, if you are not going to be having replays and follow-ups, which is the tech bit. Once you have perfected the script for the webinar, you must have replays for it. There's 25% revenue coming from the replays. Not everyone is going to buy it live. You need to be following up with them. All of that is the tech bit. So it does require a lot of massive upfront investment, but the benefits are absolutely insane. You could have a webinar which is making money for you 3 years from now. Webinars are the fastest way to show your value because courses, you don't know how much are they going to complete. Webinars are more suited for mid-range to higher-end products rather than products which are $400, because over there you're just wasting your effort by making a webinar, right? Which brings me to the fourth bridge, which is the one I've seen most of you all use the highest, which is a discovery call. Now the thing with the discovery call is that it does have high conversion rates, it is super personalized, but it depends on your skills and how much time can you invest. Every call is going to take you around 25 to 30 minutes of actual conversation, 20 minutes of prep, 20 minutes of follow-up. Like around every call is going to take you 90 minutes of work. So let's say your conversion rates are 30%, which is out of every 10 people you talk to, 3 of them are your clients, which is a good rate. And even to then get 5 clients, you need to take 17 calls, right? And this is me telling you, if your conversion rates are 30%, if they are around 10 to 20%, which is the case for many, many coaches, then you would need around 50 calls to actually get those 5 clients. If time is not an issue for you, then you can definitely consider having a discovery call. However, if you do have a time constraint, like we discussed, there are other options which you could be using. So if time and scalability is a constraint for you, then do not keep it as your first option. Now, if you're selling services which are over $5,000 and are actually custom, which is you do need to have a different pitch for everyone, then you can consider having a call, because it's difficult to sell something over $5,000 without actually even talking to the person, right? In this situation, the finance and the math of it actually makes sense for you as well. The other issues with a discovery call are that it is not scalable. If you're not good at pitching and you're not good at sales, then avoid the discovery call. Now, there are different types of discovery calls. One is an audit or an assessment, which is a strategy call, where you do take money up front to get on that call. Two is an application call, which is they can fill out an application to get on a call with you, and then you filter out which application makes sense for you. So this way you're not wasting time with people who you believe wouldn't actually buy anyways. And three is what most of you all use, which is just a free discovery call where you get to know each other. So here's the recap as to which stage are you at and what should you be using. If you are selling a program which is around $500, definitely use Tripwires. If you're running ads, use Tripwires. If you have a program which is anywhere between $700 to $1,700, you could consider using a mini course. If your programs are between $1,500 to all the way up to $3,500, $4,000, you could consider using a webinar. And if they are over $4,000 and $5,000, then you should be using a discovery call. Now, here are the biggest mistakes I have seen people make when it comes to building a bridge. The first mistake is that you have no next step. So they get your lead magnet, you thank them, you give them the lead magnet, and maybe send out 2 emails or something like that to work with you, but there's no next step for them when they're getting that lead magnet. This is the fastest way to kill your own business. So always have a next step, which is one of the 4 bridges that we discussed today, which can lead them to their actual coaching call, and have it right after you give them your lead magnet, because right now their interest is the highest. Mistake number 2, that you ask for too much too soon. You might have a lead magnet and then try to capture a $3,000 or a $5,000 client, and there's not enough trust built. So even if your lead magnet is working in terms of getting you that information, you're not utilizing it correctly. And the third mistake, and the most common mistake, I have seen every coach do it, is they have so much value to provide, they will overload their client with that value. Which means you'll have a free training, you'll have a free course, you'll have a free masterclass, you'll have so many options that your audience will be confused, and again, they won't take any option. So think of it as you're walking on a road and now there are 5 diverging paths. You're going to stop over there confused. Which one should you be taking? Similarly, when your client is walking through the journey, have one path. Don't have 20 paths where you're giving them 5 free guides and 4 masterclass videos and 3 trainings. It is not going to increase your conversions anymore. So the whole concept of a link tree where you have so many resources, it's actually killing your business. It's just making your clients confused, which is not good for you. So here's what you can do now. Depending on your offer, pick any one bridge out of all the ones that I've mentioned, actually build it out and test it for your audience to see what is resonating and what is not. And that's it for today's video. I hope this helps you bridge that gap between your lead magnet and actually getting a client. And if you're interested in more such videos which can help you grow your business, hit subscribe.